We have all heard the adage, nothing changes if nothing changes. It sounds profound, almost undeniable. But what if you are trying? What if you are waking up, showing up, and doing the work, and yet it still feels like you're walking in circles? Today, I want to show you why your brain keeps moving the finish line, and I want to introduce you to the 1-second habit that can finally break the loop. Technically, every morning is a new beginning. Physically, nothing from yesterday followed you into today. But inside, it rarely feels like a reset. You wake up and the same thoughts are waiting for you, the same worries, the same unfinished tasks sitting quietly in your mind. Before your feet even touch the floor, you already feel behind, a little heavy, as if the day is already closing in on you. This is what I call the false start. It is the hollow feeling of a productive day that somehow didn't belong to you. We often think that to change our lives, we need a massive overhaul, a new year, a new job, a completely different version of ourselves. But for those of us navigating a second language in a busy world, that pressure is often what stops us. This conversation is not about reaching a state of perfect English or a perfect life. It is about learning gently, listening with ease, and allowing yourself to grow without the crushing weight of expectation. The first reason we feel stuck is what I call the recognition gap. We are often not lacking discipline, we are lacking recognition. You're already doing things that deserve to be seen, but you keep walking past them as if they don't count. Waking up on a day when your body feels heavy and still choosing to get up, finishing a small task even when you had zero motivation, these are real victories. Yet most of us don't give ourselves even one full second to pause and say, I did that. When you ignore your effort, your brain registers zero progress. This creates a very quiet kind of exhaustion, not the kind where you need sleep, but the kind where you start to wonder, what is the point? We must also address the common misunderstanding of how change actually happens. We often wait for a feeling of readiness before we allow ourselves to begin again. We wait for the right mood, the right energy, or a version of ourselves that feels more certain. But feelings are unstable. Real change is not a feeling, it is a decision. You do not need to feel positive to practice positivity. You do not need to feel ready to take a step. You can still feel like yesterday and choose something new anyway. This is where the 5-minute rule becomes essential. When the task feels too heavy, whether it is practicing your English, exercising, or starting a difficult project, commit to only 5 minutes. This isn't about the work you complete in those minutes. It is about proving to your brain that you are no longer a person who waits, but a person who begins. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Small choices are always more powerful than big resets, because small choices are actually sustainable. Life is not short because we lack time. It is short because we lack presence. Most of your life doesn't happen in big, memorable milestones. It happens in the in-between moments that feel too normal to notice. Because they feel normal, we move through them quickly, our minds already focused on what is next. Anything you do not fully experience will always feel like it went by too quickly. This is the vanishing life. Your life follows your attention. What you give your focus to is what your day becomes. If your attention is always scattered, your life will feel scattered. If you are always waiting for the right time, you are essentially postponing your own existence. We must recognize that there is an external friction to this growth. It is one thing to decide to be kinder to yourself in a quiet room, and another to maintain that gentleness in a high-pressure environment or among people who benefit from your lack of boundaries. Protecting your energy is an act of self-respect. It means learning to say no to what leaves you feeling hollow, so you have the space to say yes to what makes you feel whole. You don't owe anyone your peace, but you do owe it to yourself to protect it. As we move forward, we must let go of the perfect reset myth. Starting again doesn't have to happen on a Monday or at the start of a new month. It can happen in the middle of a messy afternoon, right after a mistake, or right in the middle of a thought you don't like. That is your opening. It is a small interruption in the pattern. It is the moment where you choose not to repeat the same reaction for the 1,000th time. These moments don't look impressive to the outside world. No one claps for a pause, but they are the only way to change the direction of your life. True growth rarely announces itself with a shout. It hides in the repetition of small, quiet decisions. If the version of you from a year ago could see you right now, not your results, but the way you keep going even when you doubt yourself, they would likely be proud. But you don't feel that because you are standing too close to your own progress. You only see what is missing, the grammar you haven't mastered, the goals you haven't reached.